Night falls over the desert, and a hush of uncertainty settles upon the Israelite camp. They stand at the edge of the Red Sea, cold, endless waters before them, and the rumble of Pharaoh's chariots behind. Trapped with nowhere to run, mothers hold their children close as whispers of fear ripple through the crowd. In the dim light, faces reflect dread and doubt. Is this how our journey ends? The sea's waves lap relentlessly at their feet, and on the horizon, dust rises from hundreds of charging chariots. In this harrowing moment, their newfound freedom seems heartbreakingly short-lived, and many cry out in despair and prayer, but hope has not abandoned them. At the front of the camp stands Moses, the humble shepherd-turned-leader. His staff, the same wooden rod that heralded plagues in Egypt, is clutched firmly in his hand. Though the people quake with panic, Moses' eyes are lifted to heaven. With faith born from encounter with the divine, he turns to the frightened multitude. His voice, calm and steady, cuts through the clamor of fear. Do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. Murmurs quiet down as he continues. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. These words, inspired by the very promise of God, roll over the people like a soothing wind. In that sacred hush, a spark of faith is ignited, a belief that God's presence has not led them here to perish, but to prevail. A gentle night breeze begins to stir, carrying the salty scent of the sea. Moses steps forward to the water's edge. Guided by God, he raises his staff high above the dark waves. For a heartbeat, time itself seems to pause. Then, with a mighty whoosh, a strong wind sent by the Lord sweeps over the waters. What had been an impenetrable barrier now trembles under the touch of the divine. Water begins to pull back, drawn apart by invisible hands. Waves roll back upon themselves, and the sea splits in two formidable walls. The howling wind carves a dry path right through the seabed, stretching from the Israelites' shore to the far side of freedom. Under the pale moon and flickering stars, this astonishing sight unfolds in silence and awe. The water stands upright like towering walls on either side, foaming, churning, yet held back by an unseen power. The once chaotic sea now forms a sheltered corridor, illuminated softly perhaps by the moonlight or a divine glow. An awestruck gasp rises from the people. What was moments ago an impossible obstacle is now a God-made road leading forward. Moses is the first to step onto the damp sand of the seabed, and others follow, timidly at first, then with growing confidence. Children clutch parents' hands as they walk where fish once swam, eyes wide at the surreal scene. The pillar of cloud that had guided them by day moves to their rear, shrouding them in safety and holding back the Egyptian army in darkness. Step by step, the Israelites move in faith into the pathway God created, the thunder of chariots now muffled by the roar of the wind and waves held at bay. They walk through the heart of the sea on solid ground, each footfall a testament to trust. Walls of water surge to their left and right, glistening in the faint light, a colossal reminder of God's power on every side. What once was certain death has become their corridor of deliverance. With each step, fear gives way a little more to faith. An elderly man, supported by his son, lifts his eyes upward in silent thanks. A young mother, who moments ago trembled in terror, now feels hope blooming in her chest as she carries her baby toward a promise of life. Overhead, the night sky stretches peaceful and vast, as if even the heavens are holding their breath at the wonder below. Behind them, Pharaoh's army plunges into the parted seabed in hot pursuit. Hardened soldiers urge their horses forward, wheels rattling against the same stones where the Israelites walked. For a brief moment, it seems the enemy will catch up, but the miracle is not over. As the last of God's people steps safely onto the far shore, Moses turns and stretches his hand out once more. The pillar of cloud lifts, revealing the Egyptians deep in the seabed pathway. In an instant, the wind dies at God's command. The towering walls of water collapse with a mighty roar. Waves rush back into their place, crashing down upon the chariots and riders. The sea that had split to save God's children now swallows the pursuing army in tumult and confusion. Chariot wheels wrench off, horses rear in panic, and cries of the soldiers are drowned in the thunder of waters. In moments, the threat is gone. The chariots of Egypt are overwhelmed by the sea, never to harm Israel again. Dawn's first light breaks over the eastern sky as a new silence falls. On the far shore, thousands of Israelites stand safely together, stunned and breathless at what has just happened. They watch the surging waves settle back into gentle rhythm, the same sea now quietly lapping at the sand as if nothing had occurred. But everything has changed, and enslaved people have been set free, not by their own might, but by the hand of God. A few tentative voices begin to laugh and weep with relief. Soon, a crescendo of joy rises. Cries of praise echo across the desert coast as men, women, and children realize they are truly delivered. Moses' sister Miriam lifts a song, and others join. Sing to the Lord, for he has triumphed gloriously. Their song dances on the morning air, a chorus of gratitude to the God who saves. In the glow of that new day, the Israelites learn a truth they would carry forever. God is a deliverer. When all paths are blocked and defeat seems certain, he makes a way where there is no way. The story of the Red Sea is more than an ancient miracle. It is a living lesson in trust. It invites us to reflect on our own lives and the Red Seas we face. Those moments when we feel trapped by fear, hemmed in by impossible obstacles. Just as Moses encouraged his people, we too hear the whisper of Scripture. Do not be afraid. The Lord will fight for you. In our darkest nights, when the enemy of doubt closes in, we are called to be still and trust in God's power. The same God who split the sea open for his children still works wonders today in the seas of our struggles. If this story of faith and deliverance moved your heart, we invite you to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more spiritually uplifting stories from Scripture. Let these moments of divine power remind us that God is still at work today. Share this message with someone who needs encouragement, because sometimes the reminder that God still parts seas is exactly what someone needs to hear.